Hey all, and welcome to this week's episode of the Mike Muldoon podcast. So today I want to take a deep dive into the hidden world of your emotions. As I've often talked about, your emotions are, one of the biggest driving forces in your life, right? I always talk about how there's a thought that creates an emotion, right? The energy that, leads to an action, which leads to a result. And depending on how that goes, whether that thought creates a positive emotion or a negative emotion can dictate how it goes. So positive emotion, probably positive outcome. Negative emotion, negative outcome. But really what I want to talk about today is your emotional conditioning and how it shapes your feelings and your reactions. Everything from childhood memories to trauma and the incredible influence that the subconscious mind has on your emotional landscape. They're an integral part of the human experience, but poor emotional conditioning can manifest in various signs and behaviors. And you might want to pay attention to somebody who's like, are you somebody who has difficulty managing emotions? Do you have frequent mood swings, intense emotional reactions? Do you have a difficulty calming down when you're upset? Are you somebody who overreacts to situations? Or maybe you know people like that who have strong emotional responses to situations that lead to like unnecessary drama or conflict. These are signs of like poor emotional conditioning. Are you somebody who has inability to cope with stress? Are you feeling overwhelmed and anxious? It's okay to feel like that once in a while, but is this all the time? Have you developed some sort of physical symptoms or some sort of, due to the chronic stress, right? Because stress can wreak havoc on your body. Are you prone to negative self-talk, a pessimistic outlook on life and, constantly doubting yourself? Difficulty in relationships. That's another one, struggles with communication, empathy and conflict resolution. Does this leading to you to have strained relationships with your friends, your families, or even your colleagues at work? Is it causing problems there? Are you someone who tries to avoid or suppress emotions, which basically leads to, sort of an emotional, numbness, right? Or you just start detaching from people. Some people, with poor emotional conditionings, they have unhealthy coping mechanisms, right? That's where substance abuse comes in, emotional eating, self-harm, all the ways to kind of deal with their emotions. These are just a few. Another one though, you could probably relate to, if you're someone who has poor emotional conditioning, it's the self-doubt. You're constantly second guessing your decisions and your abilities. So here's the thing, emotional conditioning, it shapes our perceptions, decisions, and obviously our overall well-being. While we often think of emotions as these fleeting reactions to current events, a significant portion of our emotional responses is deeply rooted in our past experiences and stored within the subconscious mind. So this is the phenomenon of emotional conditioning. This is where it begins, and it plays a pivotal role in how we navigate and react to the world around us. So I want to talk a little bit more about how emotional conditioning may be impacting yours or somebody you know's lives. Again, if you see some of those examples I just gave you above, you have a pretty good idea who, if this is you or somebody you might know. So it really starts with our subconscious mind. And I've talked about the subconscious mind in past episodes, but our subconscious mind, it acts as a reservoir, right? It's storing a vast array of emotions, experiences that are all associated with emotions. So throughout our lives, right, from the time we're born to where we're at now, we accumulate countless experiences, both positive and negative, and they become imprinted within our subconscious mind. So these experiences create an emotional blueprint that influence how we react to similar situations in the future, right? So let's just say, for example, you're a person who was once bitten by a dog, right? In your childhood, you were bitten by a dog. Well, this traumatic event becomes etched in your subconscious. And as a result, may develop a fear or an anxiety around dogs. In this case, like the mere sight or even the presence of a dog can trigger an intense emotional response, even if the person is consciously knows that, dogs are friendly. This is a friendly dog. One of the most intriguing aspects of emotional conditioning is the stark contrast between our conscious and subconscious minds. See, consciously, we may understand that our fear of dogs is irrational or unwarranted, yet the emotional response remains strong and uncontrollable. This divide between our conscious reasoning and our subconscious emotions can lead to an internal conflict and confusion. And a perfect example of this is, and I've talked about this in my experience with these in my past, is panic attacks. During a panic attack, there is a stark disconnection that occurs between the conscious and subconscious mind. The conscious mind may insist that there is no real danger here, and this panic is completely irrational, while the subconscious mind unleashes a torrent of fear and physical sensations. This dissonance sort of intensifies the panic attack, as we sit there and we grapple with the irrationality of the intense emotional and physical responses that something consciously we're like, but this shouldn't be a problem. But while emotional conditioning has a profound impact on your life, it's not a life sentence that you're stuck with. You can change. So if you're somebody who's struggling with poor emotional conditionings, you're not stuck with it. You can't fall back into, well, this is who I am. This is all it's going to be. It's not that way. We've talked about this in past episodes. You can change it. You can work to rewire your subconscious responses, using things such as cognitive behavioral therapy or exposure therapy and mindfulness. Just staying aware of kind of what's going on. Don't go down the rabbit hole. You can reframe your conditioned responses to, emotional triggers that might be affecting you. The first steps with everything is awareness, in this case, towards overcoming the influence of emotional conditioning and how it's affecting your life. Recognizing the triggers and understanding their origins can empower you to make conscious choices about your emotional responses. Now being aware, where is this coming from? Why am I reacting this way? It's going to allow you to differentiate between the past and the present. And it's going to help you foster healthier emotions and healthier reactions towards things. For some, it could be as simple as just starting in your life, just practice mindfulness. Lots going on up there. Be aware of it. Keep track of, don't, again, like I say, don't go down the rabbit hole. You control the thoughts, right? For some, you might want to start doing, hey, it works. Meditation, breathing exercises, which will enable you to kind of remain present and effectively manage your emotions and acknowledge that it's okay to feel emotions while learning how to sort of express them more appropriately, which is going to empower you. Other people, might develop coping strategies, exercise, or for some people, it's not exercise, it's journaling or just talking with friends or, seeing a therapist or engaging in hobbies. Challenge the negative thoughts with positive self-talk, reframe situations and enhance your emotional responses. But if you must, seek professional help. It can be invaluable for, those who are really struggling to manage their emotions effectively. And if you can, become a fighter. Push through, recognize those tough emotions, work on them, face the dog. Because when you build resilience, which would you be doing, it can help you bounce back from adversity. Every time you get into one of these and you overcome it, it's going to help you, it's going to push you further. It's a lot of emotional conditioning. We human beings, we have a lot going on in us. We have a lot going on in us. That's what makes us incredible creatures, right? But listen, emotional conditioning is a fundamental aspect of human psychology, and demonstrating the intricate interplay between past experiences and present emotions. It reminds us just how much power our subconscious mind wields. It has so much influence over our feelings, often independent of our own, conscious understanding. Like I said, panic disorder. This isn't scary, but oh my gosh, my body is reacting like it is. But you got to acknowledge your emotional conditioning. That's the first way to change it. And if you start doing that, you can start embarking on a journey of self-discovery, healing, and ultimately just regaining control over your emotional responses and enhancing your overall well-being and improving your life and relationships with everybody else around you. That's what I got for you today. So as always, I just want to say thanks for joining me. And, we're in 2024. Those of you who've been with me, it's been almost 16 months now, 16 months. So it's been a while. Thank you so much for those who are just tuning in every week. And if you have any questions or comments anytime, you can always reach me on my website, MikeMuldoonLC.com, or, just comment on the right here in wherever you're listening to, Apple, Spotify, whatever your favorite podcast platform is. Leaving reviews are always great, so I appreciate that. If you've been with me a while and you have a chance to do it, if you can just pop in there, good, bad, what you like, what you might not like, what you'd like to see more of. Is it the interviews you want to see more of? Fine, we can do some more interviews. I've just been really busy with stuff lately. That's why it's been tough to schedule interviews around. But if that's what you want, hey, let's do that, because I love getting insight from other people. All right, other than that, I wish you all nothing but a great and happy weekend. And as always, I got nothing but love for you.